Hey everyone, so today I'm going to give you 5 reasons why I'm so bullish on Bitcoin and why I'm so bullish on the cryptocurrency market overall. Now listen, I completely understand that you can find easy reasons as to why you're not very bullish and you're extremely bearish. As you know, the my better half as far as in the crypto world, Joe, is a complete and utter bear. He is not negative by any means. He just has been over the charts and he's done a lot of research, and he's a bear and I'm a bull, and I'm going to go over the 5 reasons today why I think he's going to be wrong, and why I think we're going to be heading to all-time highs in 2022. So stick around, guys. The first reason why I still think we're in a bull market I want to go over is dating back to 2017, the 2018 bull run. Let's jump into TradingView to get a little bit better view on what I'm talking about. All right, everyone. So this is TradingView back in the 2017-2018 bull run. You can see down here, I've got basically pulled up through September 2017 all the way through October 2018, and we will be back. We will come back and revisit this chart because I do want to look at something. But you can see here in 2017, at the tippy top of this bull run, you're looking at about $1 trillion valuation, where Bitcoin was just over 19,000, almost kissing 20,000. I don't know if it did or not. No, 19,900 about. Anyway, so, and then when it went down and it crashed, it got down to less than 100 billion. And why I think that's important, and you can see that crash down here. You can see where it got here, the overall market cap when it got down to 3,000 in Bitcoin, 3,000 per Bitcoin. It was about it was right about 100 billion. So it crashed over 90%, over 85% down. And why I think this is indicative to where we are now is because of this move right here. So if I can circle this for you guys, is this move right here of September 2018 through October 2018, really November 2018. This big spike down and this long awaited kind of we don't know what's happening phase isn't happening where we're at right now. I don't think that the lower lows have been put in this bull run as compared to it has for the 2017 2018. And that's also why I think it's bullish, because I don't think we're ever going to allow this price action here in this orange circle to happen to where we have a big enough dip for us to fall down to, below 20K, where everybody thinks that we're going to go and sit there for a year and a half to 2 years. I don't think we're there yet. Is it possible it happens? Absolutely. There are plenty of indicators you can find. But again, I think that's reason one that we haven't seen this type of price action yet, where we're kind of just chilling, and then that big dump off happens from where we already had a sizable one at the 20K mark back in December, or back in really December of 2017. That's why I'm a little bit bullish right now, on kind of more of that macro level of like, hey, we've been here before, we've been in these dips before, but we've never really set the higher lows like we are now versus back in 2017 where it was lower lows, and we're chilling for months at a time. I mean, look at this price action. It didn't move, and now the buying pressure, the volume is crazy down, and we don't have that. We don't see that now. When it gets down there now, it pops right back up, which is going to lead me into reason number 2. Reason number 2, I think we're still in a bull run, is because of the volume at the current levels we're at with the market cap. So you can see here, the market cap is 1.7 trillion. Yesterday, when we started flirting with the 1.5 trillion dollar mark, is when you saw a crazy amount of volume and a crazy amount of buys and market pressure going up right away, right? So you get down to about 1.5 trillion, which is almost exactly half of what our all-time high market, which is right around 3 trillion, has ever been. So think of that. Everybody, and even when I was in big time in Cardano, I was like, I'm not, which I still am, don't get me wrong, but as far as when Cardano was going on to its little run, I was thinking I'm selling at 5. You know why? Because it was a nice round number. Did it ever hit 5? No, but I should have been smarter to realize I should have sold a little bit earlier, realizing that everybody's looking at these big numbers, and rarely does it happen when that's exactly the route everybody thinks it's going in that fashion. It's the same thing with Bitcoin. It's the same thing with any market. It's the same thing with the crypto market. So you're looking at what I'm getting to is you're looking at a 50% correction from 3 trillion down to 1.5 trillion. Now jumping over to TradingView of kind of in the market we're in right now, or present, is that I've got a little bit more up here. I've got all the way from 2021 all the way up to where we're at right now. But what you're seeing here, and I wanted to point out that I thought was bullish, was that you see that every time it dips to about that 50% or so, all the way since January, all the way since January. Now this one actually touched it in July, excuse me, all the way since July, but you can see it all the way back here since January. So look at this. Look how bullish this is. As soon as it approaches this pink line, all the way, this trend line here since January, even if it gets to these dip levels here, you can see the pressure is so high to send it back up. That is just not the sign of a bearish pattern, of a bearish Bitcoin, of a bearish market. Typically, you're going to see this come and retest, but you're not seeing that right now. And that's why I'm still a bull as of right now. You don't see this kind of price action. You don't see this down here. You see the bull stepping up and pushing that buying pressure up so much higher and higher and higher. So that's why I really like it. For right now, I think that's reason number 2 for me. Reason number 3 is going to have several different components to it, but I do want to go over quickly, kind of like the crash back in May of 2021. So we can look at that here. I'm gonna kind of get this chart off here. I should have left that trend line. Let me draw this trend line again. All right, so you're getting into the chart here, and you can see, and my third reason of being obviously a bull here is that you can see in the correction of May of 2021, where you see that go down sharply, and you can see it test this trend line. You can see it test here, and what happens was, and what I want to focus on is that what was the fear and greed index like back then? It wasn't near what it is now with the geopolitical things we have going on. Everything right now says you should be as fearful as you've ever been in your entire life. And if we go back into the chart just really quick, we're not even testing those lines. We're not testing this area that we tested when fear and greed was not near as fearful as it was back here as far as geopolitical goes. Now look at that. That is as bullish as it's going to get. You can even get this one. You can get this one here. And obviously this is on the run up, but I understand that we're not hitting all the way back from January. So these two, that is not indicative of a bearish pattern, in my opinion. If these 4 orange circles were coming down and retesting, so we're here retesting and then completely retesting and then retesting, then I'd say that's a very bearish pattern, and we have some problems ahead. But like I said in my example on number 1, we don't have that flat line going across, so it makes me think we're a little bit more bullish than bearish right now. Think how strong that is for a market to say, hey, we're in a war. We're literally in a war. There hasn't been war in Europe in decades and decades and decades. We're in a war, and you still can't even push Bitcoin down to its trend line since January. I mean, that is as bullish as it gets, in my opinion. And then remember, this is January of 2021. So this is obviously over a year ago, January, and we're not even getting to those low levels yet. And we have more fear and anxiety than we've ever had. I think that is a very important, and that is my number 3 reason of why we're still in a bull market. Number 4, I want to just do it. This is going to be quick. This is going to be simple. This is going to be probably the most elementary reason, but I still think it's an important one, and that's the fear and greed index. Let's jump into it really quick, guys. So the fear and greed index, where did I put it up here? Okay, so fear and greed index, and why I think it's important, I was studying it here a little bit, is that you see the fear right now is at a 27. Yesterday was at a 23, so that changes all the time. That's not really what I'm focused on here. I'm focused on this. Last month was also a 23. So you saw a bounce off of a 23 because of obviously the inflation and some other things coming out, but that was just kind of already priced into the market. The market just kind of kept going, right? If we're already in a bear trend since November, we've been on this absolute just tear down, right? Then this should push it down lower and lower and lower, but we're not seeing lower lows. We're not seeing them yet. We're seeing higher lows. And this is what I think is important, is that we have a war started, and we're not even more fearful than we were last month. I mean, that's pretty crazy. Now everything can change. I mean, think about it. It's literally war. I mean, people are dying. So that can change in a heartbeat. That can change literally as I'm talking right now. But as far as Bitcoin goes and the charts go, I see it as a bullish sentiment. If you don't see it as a bullish sentiment, that's completely fine. Talk to me down in the comments below. I'd love to chat back with you. Also, before I go on, please, you got to like this video, subscribe to the channel. The crypto boys are coming in hot every single day. So like the video, subscribe to the channel. Back at it. My 5th and final reason is interest rates. I don't have the article pulled up because it's a paid prescription article that I haven't fully subscribed to. I've just had one of my buddies send it to me. Is interest rates. Is that He sent me this paid prescription article, and it's from Barry Habib, who has been very forefront on interest rates for a very long time. And he's always been able, he's not always, but he's predicted very well of where it's going to go. He thinks that the interest rates are going to continue to rise through Q3, but it's a little bit overhyped than we think. And he thinks that they're going to level off and then actually start to come back down. Now, that doesn't say anything for inflation, because he still thinks inflation is going to rise because all the way back from the housing market in 2008, 2010. But this article really shines some light on me. I wish I had it in front of me. I don't. Wow. Maybe these interest rates are already kind of put in the market. Maybe already people were already expecting this, realizing that we just artificially pumped $2 to $3 trillion into the market, that things were going to change and things were going to happen. And you could even say that that's a bullish signal for Bitcoin, and it's also a little bearish, but either way, you could argue one way or the other. If inflation goes up, is it bullish for Bitcoin? Inflation goes down, is it bullish for Bitcoin? You know, some of it's going to depend on what the stock market's doing with how we're flowing with the equities market now. I understand that, but for right now, I see it as a bullish sentiment. So I do have a bonus number 6, and this is going to be very quick and easy, and we've drawn this on our trend line all the time. Jumping into trading view quick, I just want to draw it really fast, is that this line here that I just went over since January, that's a terrible line. Wow, Colin, real bad. But anyways, the 28K mark, that's what this orange line is supposed to represent. If we break below this line, we're going to probably head to a bear market, and it's going to be a long crypto winter, if you know what I'm saying. But if we can break above this 46K mark here, 46K, that is when we know, in my opinion, we're off to the races and all-time highs in 2022. So that's just a bonus number 6, just looking at the charts in a very elementary way. That's the way I like to see it, and that's the way we've been looking at the crypto boys for quite some time now. So those are my top 5 reasons, and a bonus number 6 of why I think we're still in a bull market and why I think this is just a normal correction. I think it's a little bit longer. I think we've had a lot of geopolitical things going out, inflation. There's been so much negative, big time, I mean huge news to drive this market down, and it just can't do it. The bulls are just like, nope, I'm scooping. Nope, I'm scooping. War happens, cool, I'm scooping, you know. And so it's crazy to think about it in that terms, but that's what's happening right now. This could all change on an absolute, you know, dime, and who knows, maybe they resolve what they're doing over in Europe, maybe they don't. I have no idea. I'm not even gonna jump in the geopolitical space. That's not my game. Talk about crypto, I stay in my lane in that realm. However, I think it's bullish. If you ask Joe, he can probably find 5 things that are just as bearish. But again, I'm the bull on the channel. That's the way I feel, and that's how I see the market continuing in 2022. Really quick, I do want to end you guys with something, 4 things the crypto boys are doing. What we're doing right now, number 1, and most importantly, we're DCAing into our projects. Joe just bought a bunch of ADA. I bought some XRP yesterday. Forgot my trading password, but hey, we made it happen. Another thing we're doing is that we're not looking at buying dips, and we're staying out of smaller cap projects. Those for right now are off our radar, and we're more into, like, you know, top 25, top 30 coins. Coin market cap is a good way to start, is to start DCAing into those and making sure that you're buying into projects you truly believe in, moving some of your funds around into projects you know that will survive a bear market and survive some type of war. That's another great idea. The third thing we're doing that people overlook all the time is we're keeping cash on hand. We're keeping our cash. You've got to keep cash ready to go, ready to buy at a moment's notice, just in case a war breaks out and we dip down 20, 30, 40%. When we're already down 20, 30, 40%, you've got to be ready to scoop up. A lot of people were, as you've seen from the charts I saw earlier. The fourth and final thing we're doing, or maybe not doing, I don't know, is selling. We're not selling. If you're selling right now, it is ridiculous. We went over that a million times, not even go into it. The crypto boys are not selling right now at ridiculous lows. It's not happening. We're only buying right now. When we do start to sell, we'll be the first ones to tell you guys. All right, I do really appreciate you guys being with the fittest crypto channel on YouTube. I'm out.